What is going on, everybody? So today on Dylan Talks Tone, we're going to probably handle one of the highest requested things that we get on the channel, and that is we're going to talk about a four-way telly. This is my, I've only had this a few months. This is my Fender Telecaster American Vintage 2. It's just a normal telly wiring, kind of based on like a 63-ish sort of setup. Currently, it's just the normal three-way. Sounds like a telly, right? But like I said, one of the requests we get is four-way switching to put the two pickups in series. So today, we're going to switch this thing over to four-way, and I'm going to show you what we need to do that, because you can't just do it. There's a couple things you need to know. Before we get going, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button if you like guitar stuff, because that's what we do here. And I want to also thank my Patreon supporters, as well as my YouTube members that hit the little join button down there, and everybody that uses the super thanks and all that stuff, supports the channel. That's what basically funds videos like this, because we don't get free guitars from Fender, we have to buy them. So that's how these things get funded, so I thank you very much for that. And then I'm going to show you a couple other cool things over here that you'll be able to get from Dylan Talks Tone later too. So let's get into what we need to do to make this guitar a four-way. So what we're going to do with this guitar today is we're going to take out the pickups that are in it, which are the stock Fender pickups, and we've got a set of our flat six telly pickups that we're going to put in this guitar. The reason we're replacing them is because we need to do something a little different. This is going to be our four-way drop-in set. Now, you folks have been asking me for this to put it on the website, and this is it. So it's going to go plop straight in there, and now you're going to have neck, middle, bridge, and two pickups in series. And that is done with the way this four-way switch is wired here on the back. And then we've got CTS pots, as well as an orange drop cap. And we use pure tone jacks, so this is a properly good setup to go in here, but that's not the only thing that we have to do. On the back of the neck pickup on a Telecaster, typically this wire is the ground, and it is actually soldered from here to here, which is actually the cover of the pickup. You notice that I did not make that connection on this pickup, because if we do that and we run it in this series position, then basically what happens is the cover of the pickup becomes hot. So every time you touch the pickup, it starts to buzz. So what we need to do is ground this wire, or ground the cover separately from the actual wire that is the ground. And then we'll show you, we're going to hook it up differently and separately to the wiring harness. So when you order these pickups from us, this setup, the four-way setup, you're going to get the pickup set and the wiring together. And the reason for that is because we need to make the pickup a little different with this extra wire grounded to the cover separately. So this four-way neck pickup is going to have 3 wires on it now. So when you buy this set, you're going to get the neck pickup with 3 wires, the bridge pickup with 2 wires, and this drop-in wiring kit, and that is what's going to give us our series wiring. So let's go ahead and put it in this guitar. Okay, so we want to talk about a couple of the tones in this guitar, the side effects, some stuff that you can kind of expect, and why it does it. So on a normal Telecaster, we have our normal positions, right? Our bridge position, right? Our middle position, and our neck position, right? And we have the outputs of those pickups, and it all is cool. Now, let's talk about the difference. Let's talk about the middle parallel position that is on most guitars. Okay, so the middle position, most guitars are hooked up in parallel, which means that you take the kind of the output of both pickups and then you divide them in half. Electrically, that's the way. This is with anything. When you hook them up in parallel, it ends up being like speakers and everything. It ends up being half the resistance of both things put together. So now on this guitar, we have really about 4K of output, maybe even a little less. That's why middle positions on most guitars have like a lot of clarity to them and a really strong mid-range, because that output goes way down when you do that. That's why, like, you know, middle position with two humbuckers sounds so awesome, like on a 335 or something, or even a Les Paul. Same thing with two P90s together. Same thing with a Tele. I mean, that's what makes that middle position sound so awesome. Well, when we go to series, we do something the opposite. We actually take it sounds like it sounds. Series. We take both the pickups and we put them in line with each other. And basically what we get is we get a split apart humbucker. So the difference in sound sounds like this. A boost in output, but because we put both pickups together, now we get the windings of both coils together. And as we've talked about in other videos, when we add windings, we also add capacitance and some other kind of side effects that take some of those highs away. So if you listen to this in parallel in a normal setup, now let's go to series and listen to the highs kind of go away a little bit. Hear how the mid-range changes a little bit? The highs get clipped off just a touch and the output comes up. So you get kind of a humbuckery sort of sound, but it's not the same because they're so far apart. If you were to actually take these pickups and put them right next to each other, it would sound exactly pretty close to a humbucker. Now, let's add some drive to that and let's talk about the difference between those two sounds, because what happens is you get, let's go with the neck pickup, you get the output of that pickup. Now you take both pickups and put them together. It hits the amp harder, giving the amp more voltage, but also that capacitance goes up and those other things happen. Some little frequencies get killed and the highs go away a little bit. So more compression, more drive, more output, a little bit less highs. Sounds pretty awesome. So now you have 4 completely distinct sounds coming out of your Telecaster, just a little bit added dimension. It's kind of fun. So by the time you see this video, on the website is going to be the Flat 6 Tele set made for the 4-way setup. And that's going to basically give us our 4-way selection like we showed you earlier. It's going to give you the 250K CTS pots, an orange drop cap, a pure tone jack. When available, 99% of the time it is. Sometimes they go on back order and we use Switchcraft, but 99% of the time it's pure tone. And then we've got this neck pickup being a little bit special because you have to have the separate wire on there so that this does not buzz when you touch it when it's running in series. And then of course, when you buy this, you'll get the little scan card in the box and it'll show you where to hook everything up, because it's not in the normal places of a telly, because you have to hook up the wire that comes from the pickup cover to a regular ground, but you actually hook up the other ground to part of the switch. So there's a little bit difference there, but we'll show you that. You'll get a little wiring diagram that'll show you where everything goes. So that's it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate everybody who watches these videos, supports the channel, goes to Dylan Talks Tone and checks out pickup stuff. Have you tried 4-way in your telly, or do you want to? I think it's pretty cool.